And coming to you live once again, it's your boy Wex breaking the Lawson for another AEW Dynamite review. But as always, before we get into the video, I'm going to go ahead and let you know about the new episode of Kayfabe Comparisons podcast. Kayfabe Comparisons podcast. We got a new episode coming out this Saturday. This time we're covering the pay-per-view that just happened, WWE Fastlane 2021, taking it back 20 years, going up against No Way Out 2001, which was the pay-per-view before WrestleMania back 20 years ago. And goddamn, it was a fun one. So go check that out this Saturday. And what do you know, the first match of the night is Kenny Omega taking on Matt Sydal in an AEW World Title Eliminator match, which means if Matt Sydal wins, he gets a future shot at Kenny's AEW World Championship. And this was a really great match. I thought it was pretty funny. Don Callis went on commentary and was just being a dickhead to everybody, and it really got JR fired up. And I like when JR gets fired up, because sometimes he seems like he's just kind of phoning it in, but he was really feeling it on this episode. Match was fantastic, like I said, and there was a couple points where Matt Sydal was just hitting some nice reversals and some things that I thought, ooh, maybe he could win this one since it's not for the belt. It's for a title shot later down the line. He had a nice reversal of the one-winged angel into a roll-up, but of course he didn't get it, and you know what always happens with Kenny Omega. It's inevitable. Once you hit that one-winged angel, it's 1, 2, 3. He gets the victory. But it was a great match. I really would like to see Matt Sydal win to see them face again later down the line. But you know, anything's possible in AEW. We could see it again. My boy John Silver of the Dark Order up next was in the backstage area with his Dark Order brethren, his Dark Order brothers, doing a little practice for the match, and they were all doing coffin drops, and he was just avoiding them all. And of course, when number 5 goes for the coffin drop, everyone just moves out of the way and he just kind of ate shit. It was a great touch. No! The next match of the night is Hangman Adam Page taking on Cesar Bonone, and a lot of the times when I take notes, I'll do it on my phone, and I'll kind of do talk to text, and it made Cesar Bonone Cesar Banana, which I also thought that was funny, so I left it just like Big Shitty Lee Johnson a few weeks ago. But this match, this match actually went pretty quick, and a lot quicker than I thought. Hangman Adam Page at one point got caught on a little dive to the outside into a power slam onto the apron. Looked pretty rough, and after that he was like, fuck this goddamn son of a bitch, and a few big boots, a few clotheslines, and a buckshot lariat later. Before you know it, Hangman Adam Page is celebrating on the ramp, drinking some Page-Wisers, as Excalibur pointed out on commentary. I like that right there.
Drink you a Page-Wiser!
Alright, up next we got Lance Archer cutting a promo about how he's going to whoop Sting's ass without actually saying that he's going to whoop Sting's ass. We saw what was happening there. We know where this is going to lead. And then we get promo of the night. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, comes out, cuts a promo saying, Tony Khan, you gotta sign all these fucking legends and all these people. Well, I'm the living legend right here. Mick Foley, it took you 20 years to become a hardcore icon. I did it in one night. Hopefully this is a good indication of where the women's division is going if we're gonna get more good shit like this. Up next, we got the team of the Varsity Blondes and Dante Martin of Top Flight going up against the Pinnacle, making their AEW teaming up debut in the ring. They debut before they'd wrestled, but you know, this is the first time together as a unit.
Unit!
I used to be able to do units before I broke my wrist. Okay. This match actually started not the way I expected it. The Blondes and Dante Martin seemed to take control pretty early on, and they knocked everybody around to the outside, and they got ready to set up for like a dive, you know, the classic. They're all running for it, then Wardlow just walks in the way and is like, nope, ain't gonna have none of that shit, and there's no flippity doodles in this match, and I like that touch with the heels. They're not gonna let the high-flying guys get their shit in because they're like, fuck that, we don't like them flips. FTR took control during the commercial break, and then when we came back, we got a little bit of back and forth, but before you know it, it was a sick double or triple team, I guess. FTR tossed up Dante Martin in the air, and Sean Spears caught him on his shoulder into a fireman's carry, hesitated for a minute, then hit the C4 Death Valley Driver for the 1, 2, 3, the victory. The Pinnacle wins, and goddamn, I really like what's going on here. And then right after the match, of course, they all get to the ring, grab the mics, and FTR cuts a promo on Santana and Ortiz. MJF cuts one on Chris Jericho. They're basically still honing in on the inner circle right now, and that feud is far from over. Up next, we get a Team Taz promo. He's got the whole crew, got the whole clique sitting there. Like we had last week, a little dissension. We have FTW champion Brian Cage sitting over here, and Taz is like, he actually came and apologized for putting over Sting and doing all that stuff. Everything's great with Team Taz, and the whole time everybody's kind of like smiling, but you can tell everything's not great. You can definitely tell by the look on Brian Cage's face. I'm looking forward to this development, and hopefully he just starts whooping everybody's ass. Alright, up next, we got QT Marshall coming out and cutting a little promo, a little interview, talking about how he's just known as Cody's friend, he's tired of living in the shadows, and then points out his wife that he's known since he was 8 years old, but then, like, they were doing some weird, like, cuck sex weird thing with the bunny and the Blade and the Butcher. I don't know what was going on with that, but that's his wife. I don't know if they're going to mention that. I thought that was fucking weird. A lot of people thought that was weird because they just kind of breezed right over it. But anyways, Cody comes out with a sling, half-ass selling his shit from Pentagon from last week, and he's like, yeah, man, we'll have an exhibition match. And I'm just like, dude, is Cody really going to put himself over again? He probably will. I mean, we know it's Cody. Cocky, Mr. Pompous, I love attention, Cody. Cody, you son of a bitch. The next match of the night was a trios match featuring Laredo Kid making his AEW return, teaming up with the Lucha Brothers, going up against the Young Bucks and their California hometown buddy, Brandon Cutler, and which turned out to be a fantastic matchup. We got a super sick sequence in the very beginning of the match with Matt Jackson and Pentagon Jr. It was like a springboard arm drag into a roll-up. It was really sick. I've never really seen that before. This match was fucking tight. Pure lucha the whole time. And I gotta give it to Brandon Cutler. He's keeping up with all the luchadors and the Young Bucks, flipping and flopping just as good as they are in this one. We got another solid little sequence with Nick Jackson and Phoenix again. Very reminiscent of their match they had on Dynamite about a year ago. But the last 30 seconds of this match was pure fucking lucha. We got this sick assisted from Brandon Cutler Indie Taker, followed by suddenly a spiked DDT to Phoenix on the outside where he completely went vertical. And before you know it, Laredo Kid had Brandon Cutler on the top. Hit the Spanish Fly for the win. Goddamn, what a match. I know people usually don't like that luchador, high-flying, fast, neck break, high-speed shit, but goddamn, that's what lucha is, and I love it. Then the real story came in the post-match when Kenny Omega made his way down to the ring, and he's just like, fuck you, Young Bucks, you motherfuckers. You chose Brandon Cutler, even though we faced these guys originally back at Fyter Fest 2 years ago? Like, are you guys fucking kidding me? And he starts kind of beating up on Laredo Kid, and he's just like, you guys are going to turn your back on me? You're not going to choose him? He said, I didn't stay in New Japan, and I didn't choose to go to WWE, but neither did I choose to go to AEW. I chose the Young Bucks. I chose you guys, but you guys didn't choose me. And I was like, ooh, and then he threw it up, and he's like, come on, one last chance. What's up? And the Young Bucks, they said, too sweet, man, but no, they didn't too sweet him, and they turned away. They didn't too sweet him, they went the other way. He didn't too sweet him when he walked on by.
No ranch for them.
No ranch. But as Kenny's distracted, throwing him up, just waiting for the Bucks, as he turns around, he's gonna do a super kick, but it's not gonna work. Double super kick, boom, by both the Lucha Bros, and then they hit the assisted package pile driver, stomp from the top rope on Kenny Omega. I love the way this is going. Of course we know we're gonna see more of this. We're probably gonna see maybe the Young Bucks going up against Kenny Omega at some point in the future. I'm looking forward to it. Cody Rhodes, earlier in the day, announced on Twitter he had a big announcement coming up for Aew Dynamite tonight. So I'm thinking, all right, what's it going to be? Something cool? Maybe? Some new titles? The trios titles? A new signing? No, it's a fucking announcement for a reality show. A fucking Cody Rhodes reality show. The last fucking thing we need is for him to be more pompous and bigger about himself and be all into himself. Like, oh my god, it's such bullshit. But then immediately after that, they air an ad for TBS's show that's Wipeout, hosted by John Cena, like immediately. I'm pretty sure that was strategic, and then throughout the night you kept seeing little TNT Wipeout with John Cena like on the bottom of the screen while Kenny Omega's wrestling. It's definitely strategic because they want to get the wrestling audience trying to mix it up a bit, but does that mean we're going to get John Cena and AEW sometime in the future, maybe? John Cena versus Big Show? I mean, John Cena's his real name, so he could still be John Cena. He owns his own actual name. So it'd be John Cena versus Paul White for the AEW World Championship. Please no. Don't want that, but I wouldn't mind to see Kenny Omega versus Super Cena. Up next, we got Nyla Rose, the Native Beast, going up against Ty Conti, sort of the Dark Order. They kind of flanked her late, and she's like,
Fuck!
Shane, I'm just going to let Shane speak for everybody on that one, but I didn't expect her to win this match, and Ty Conti actually did. She put down Nyla Rose before I knew it. I was kind of like half-ass paying attention and looked up, and she was getting the pin. I was like, oh shit, Ty Conti won. And that's pretty cool because Nyla Rose is always winning. I'm getting tired of seeing Nyla Rose getting the victories, even though she is the biggest, which I'm not going to get into that stuff, but yeah. But as the match is ending, the bunny of Matt Hardy's new office club, or whatever the fuck they're called, the Matt Hardy office, the MFO, the MHO, I forgot what the fuck it's called, but she makes her way and just starts beating up Ty Conti from behind, and then Nyla Rose kind of joins in, and then Hikaru Shida comes out with the kendo stick and tries to help her, and we kind of got a little brawl going, and Matt Hardy starts to cut a promo saying how the women's tournament was a joke because the bunny wasn't in it, and all this other shit, and basically I think they're trying to build this women's division up a little bit. We got a little promo from Britt Baker earlier in the night, we got this little brawl, this nice little branching storylines. Let's see where this shit goes.
And for your main event of the evening,
we got Darby Allin. Your boy Darby Allin, because Max is our boy and that's his boy, so it's like your boy. You know, your boy Darby Allin going up against Mr. Meatman himself, Johnny Silver for the TNT Championship, and these guys did not disappoint, let me tell you. They weren't really back and forth at the beginning. No one could really seem to take the advantage till goddamn John Silver bulldozed, shoulder tackled Darby Allin out of the ring completely. It was sick. And I just love the strength of John Silver. You might not think he's that strong because he's so small, but he is a meat man for a reason. He's tossing Darby Allin around everywhere and showing his strength. We get a real sick-ass DDT from John Silver for the near fall. At one point, John Silver's on the outside and Darby Allin goes to the suicide dive. And Allin Angels sacrifices himself, or is he just the one who always gets fucked up? I think that's what it is. And he gets hit with the suicide dive. They start brawling in the crowd. Shit gets crazy. Then Stein comes out, of course, and he's basically like, Dark Order, you guys better watch the fuck out. We're not gonna let y'all get involved in that. But, you know, he's looming and he's waiting, but that doesn't stop John Silver from just doing some fucking sick-ass shit. John Silver hits a nice powerbomb throw off the top. I don't know if he's supposed to go with it, but he tosses Darby Allin like a motherfucker. And I love what JR said on commentary. He said, Darby Allin is wiry, and he's definitely wiry. He can bend him in all types of ways, but the motherfucker don't break. John Silver setting up for the Brody Lee powerbomb. He gets ready. I think he's going to take it. I think he's going to get the victory, but Darby Allin reverses it into a code red for the 1, 2, 3. Goddamn, what a great match. Like, Darby Allin has had so many great matches with so many different opponents, different shapes and sizes, different styles. He can really wrestle anybody. He's really fucking sick. And John Silver, he put on a hard-fought, valiant effort, but he did not get the victory. After the match, Darby Allin and John Silver get a little bro fist bump, a sign of respect. Sting, he's like, you know, I respect the guy. You can feel the mutual respect in the air. But before they can even have some sort of celebration or happiness, Matt Hardy attacks from behind, and then the Dark Order gets involved. Then we got a goddamn Donnybrook as it goes off there. Everybody's just whooping each other's ass. It's like an episode of SmackDown from 1999. Just fucking everybody's out there. It was great, but this week's episode of AEW Dynamite is unfortunately only going to get a 4 out of 6 beers on it for this week for me because it's a little interview heavy, a little segment heavy. The matches themselves were fantastic. That's why it did get 4 beers, because if it was shitty matches, it probably would have only got 2 or 3. But AEW has not disappointed me that bad at this point. They usually seem to impress me. That's why I have such a high standard when I'm rating this bullshit half the time. But alright, I want y'all to like that video, share it, subscribe, tell your buddy, tell your homie, tell your mama, tell your sister, tell your pal, tell everybody. And we'll see you next week. This is Wex breaking the loss, and I'm out of here. Peace!